Welcome. I hope you are having a good day. In today's video we are going to focus on the heart center, and how to access that infinite space that is hiding inside of us. We can tap into that infinite space through meditation, through awareness that is directed inwards. So find a comfortable seat. You can sit on the floor if you like to sit cross-legged, or perhaps kneel. And if you prefer to sit on a chair, that's also an option. And if you can make sure that you don't fall asleep and you prefer to lay down, then do that, whatever feels comfortable. And just begin to settle. Feel the position of the body. Feel where your body meets the floor or the chair or perhaps the bed. Pay attention to your breath. And allow the eyelids to slowly close off. Allow the breath to be as it is. You don't need to change anything. Simply pay attention. Feel the breath moving just like a gentle breeze blowing through the room. The same way the air comes in through the nose and goes out through the nose. Just feel your breath. This amazing, nourishing substance which without we couldn't really exist. If you think about, we arrive into this body with the first breath or the first inhale, and we leave with the last exhale. And once we stop breathing, then life as such leaves the body soon after. So just feel this nourishing that is coming in with the inhale, and detoxification is happening on the exhale. The body is releasing carbon dioxide. And as you breathe, pay attention to your inhale and feel the top of the breath. That's the point where you stop inhaling. And it is not something that is conscious. It is driven by the autonomic nervous system. So you don't have to focus on stopping the inhalation. It will stop automatically. All you need to do is just basically pay attention and feel where it happens. And in the moment, there will be a short break. So the inhalation will stop. There will be a short pause. And then the exhalation will begin, and allow that to happen. And then when you inhale again, just pay attention to your inhale. And notice where it peaks. Again, there will be a short pause, a moment of no breath. And then the exhalation begins. So just keep following this cycle. Paying attention to the inhalation. Noticing how it is rising, and notice where it stops, and then let the exhalation follow, and again pay attention to the next inhale. Try to feel the breath. Just a couple of more breaths. And then once you inhaled, now pay attention to the exhalation. Feel the air leaving the body. And then once the lungs will be relatively empty, the exhalation will automatically stop. Again, you don't have to stop it. It will stop by itself. Basically, just notice. And then allow the inhalation to happen. And then once you begin to exhale again, focus on the exhalation. Notice where the bottom of the breath is. The space between the exhalation and the inhalation. Let the mind be slow, steady, focused. Concentrate on the exhalation and try to feel the bottom of the breath. That pause might be quite short, maybe just half a second or a quarter of a second. It doesn't really matter. All you need to do is to observe. And take a couple of more breaths. And now pay attention to the top of the breath and the bottom of the breath. So when you inhale, follow the inhalation with your awareness. Notice where it peaks, there will be a pause. And then notice the exhalation, follow it. Notice where it ends. And then continue with the cycle. Observe the inhalation. Notice the top. And then follow the exhalation. Notice the bottom. And so on. Continue with this cycle. Try to feel the top and the bottom of the breath. So don't just imagine something, but actually feel. It might be quite subtle. That's okay. It's pretty normal. But with more practice, it becomes more and more evident that stoppage, that pause of breath, and eventually that pause will expand. If you don't feel the top of the breath or the bottom of the breath, then when you inhale, hold your breath inside for 1 second. And then once you exhale, hold the breath outside for 1 second. And then inhale, hold the breath inside for a second. And then exhale and hold the breath outside for a second. And just continue. Just keep your awareness. Pay attention to any subtle sensation. Feel the cycle of the breath. It's just like the ebb and flow of the tide moving in and out. And if your mind gets distracted, that's alright. It happens to the best of us also. Just come back to the breath, follow the inhale, notice where it peaks, and then follow the exhale, notice where it ends. This is the first stage. When you really start feeling these 2 points, and eventually you only observe the top and the bottom of the breath. And allow the slow breathing to slow down everything else. The heart, the mind, through the breath, you are capable of influencing your automatic nervous system. Things that you normally don't have control over, such as your heart rate, body temperature, blood pressure. But by influencing your breath and the way you breathe, you can really have an effect on the systems that you normally don't have access to. The reason for that is because the respiratory system, your breathing, overlaps. It is part of the autonomic nervous system, which is running like a program. You don't have to think about it. However, you can influence your breath. You can slow it down, you can make it long, you can make it short, you can make it rapid or slow. You can even hold your breath. So there are many things you can do depending on what kind of effects you want to manifest. Right now, we want to tap into our heart space, creating brain and heart coherence, because the heart and the brain are continuously communicating. And it has been scientifically proven that the heart is sending way more information into the brain than it receives. And the heart also has neurons, which means very similar to brain cells. So the heart can think, and the heart can feel, and it can affect the way we think in our head. And then the better coherence you can create between your head and heart, the better you feel. The more balanced you are, and the more harmony you experience in your life. So just keep breathing the same way, noticing the top and the bottom of the breath. If you can feel them quite vividly, then move your attention to the space between the 2 points. It's called the heart space. And feel that space. And notice where you are feeling it. Is this space expanding? Or is it stationary, so to say? How big is it? Is it some small space? Or is it something quite expansive? Perhaps even limitless? If you can't really feel the heart space yet, that's okay. Then just return to feeling the inhalation, noticing the peak of the breath, and observing the exhalation, feeling the bottom of the breath. And just continue with that until these 2 points become quite almost tangible. And once they become noticeable, then just focus on the space between them. But don't rush it. You can do this practice over and over again until it will click. feel the heart space. If the mind runs off, just notice that you got distracted. You started thinking about something else, some memories, or maybe some planning. See if you can let that all go and just come back. Come back to the breathing. Come back to the top of the breath and the bottom of the breath. And eventually to the heart space. And allow your mind and heart rest in the same container. Let their frequency become a lot more synchronized. So the waves, the frequency they send out, they are in harmony with each other. We feel the way we think, and we think the way we feel. If you feel like continuing with the meditation, feel free. Continue observing your experience, keeping the mind focused. And if you feel it was enough for this session for you, then just slowly breathe in through your nose. Take a really big breath. And then let it go. And again, breathe in deeply. And exhale completely. And then let the awareness return to the body. Begin to move your fingers, your toes, or whatever else feels good. Whatever is numb, perhaps. Especially if you sit cross-legged, you may feel the legs gone asleep. So let the body come back to its original state of wakefulness. And whenever you're ready, just open the eyes. Come back. Thank you for joining. If you like the video, then please hit the like button and also subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video.